two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with your boy Ryan enjoys wrestling and the Heartbreak Dude Denton, and this is our WWE Halloween episode. What's up, y'all? Happy Halloween! If this posts today on Halloween, oh yeah, it's live, right? We're live.
It is.
We're live.
Yeah.
So happy Halloween! It is on
happy
Halloween.
Yeah,
we should have worn costumes. I wore my Beetlejuice shirt just to.
I got my. I'm the people's champ, so you know.
You are in real life too, so that's not a costume. That's just like your real life gimmick. But yeah, man, we're ready to talk. We got a jam-packed show because we got some news. We got some Smackdown. We got some Halloween Havoc 2 thumbs up with attitudes. We got our 2 thumbs with attitudes. We got Raw NXT predictions. Least valuable, most valuable. We got to get this show going. So Ryan, hit us with the news. We got some exciting news, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's pretty exciting.
And what's the segment called? That's right. The dudes read the news.
That's right.
All right.
But earlier this week, the WWE announced the new WWE ID developmental designation, and it's a developmental program designed to provide independent wrestlers a potential path to the WWE. They announced that it has launched a new program called WWE ID, which is short for Independent Development, a developmental program designed to provide independent wrestlers a potential path to WWE. This is from Triple H, is a direct comment in the press release. WWE ID is the latest in our efforts to identify and support the journey of up-and-coming wrestlers, in turn raising the profile of and strengthening the independent wrestling ecosystem. In the program, WWE plans to provide prominent independent wrestling schools with the WWE ID designator with the purpose of providing new trainees and existing talent with enhanced developmental opportunities. Sorry, there's ads on this thing, so you have to scroll down. The concept is innovative for its approach, provides a new level of financial assistance to independent wrestling schools not seen before by the WWE. It goes on to talk about how in the Triple H era, WWE has expanded its approach to promotions outside the realm of the WWE universe, most notably by working with agreements with TNA and Pro Wrestling Noah, as well as acknowledgement on air by Michael Cole and other commentators regarding superstars' previous accomplishments and championships in other promotions, something that Vince McMahon would have never done when he was running the show. But they announced that the first 5 independent wrestling schools to receive the ID designation would be Booker T's Reality of Wrestling in Houston, Texas, Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory in Atlanta, Georgia, Seth Rollins' Black and Brave Academy in Davenport, Iowa, Elite Pro Wrestling Training Academy in Concord, New Hampshire, and Knock X Pro Academy right there in your backyard in Los Angeles, California. And they go on.
One? Oh, I'm in. I'm going to train.
Yeah. But apparently it says that the WWE ID will identify top independent wrestling prospects with the WWE ID prospect designation, which will allow WWE to support their development with financial opportunities, training, mentorship, access to their facilities, and in-ring training as well. WWE is also planning on showcasing these prospects and their past through WWE social media accounts. So it's a pretty big move for the independent wrestling circuit. Some people find this a little controversial for whatever reason, because the WWE is attempting to monopolize and controlling the independent circuits. And, because, there's the WWE's, they have to control everything. But I actually think this is a great thing. I think it's great for the independent scene to kind of have something to strive for. I think it's great for the people in WWE. I think it's great for the guys like Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes and Booker T to kind of, knowing that that not only do they have they had success, but now they can go and help train the future generation of the WWE. So the way I look at it, it's kind of like the minor leagues in baseball. You have AA and single A, which are what these WWE ID schools would be. And then you have the AAA, which is the NXT, in my opinion. So if they're ready, they get called up to NXT, and then which is developmental, get fine tune them, get them trained, get them ready to go, and then they're called up to the majors, which is the WWE, Raw, SmackDown, and whatever else do they have. So I think it's a great thing. I think it's a cool thing, and it just goes to show the difference between Triple H and Vince McMahon, because I do not think this would happen if Vince was running the show right now.
No, well said. Well said. I mean, he did try to do NXT originally as that idea, and then it became the NXT that it is today. You know,
squashed that. He got bored with it and squashed it, and it became like the reality show or whatever it was.
And then he got mad that they didn't destroy AEW, and AEW is like getting prime. I don't know, but here's the thing. Even though NXT did win a couple here and there, but yeah, I think this is fantastic. I think unless you're a true WWE hater, you don't get this. It's nothing about monopolizing. It's about helping their own brand and helping wrestler schools. Because you got to know now people are going to be like, oh, shoot. Now if I go to Seth Rollins Academy, which I didn't even know existed, I can go there and try to get my name in there. So now I'm going to pay the fees and try to work my way up. And this, so it helps out everybody. I'm surprised the Dudleys camp wasn't in there, because they have one, and I heard it's pretty popular. So I'm surprised they didn't do it with all the love they're giving
probably,
right now. But
probably starting with 5, and then they'll expand it. So
yeah. But I think this is fantastic. I mean, here's the thing: we're acting like it's going to be so in detailed, and that forever we're just going to like have, oh, these are all the people, but it's not going to be like that. It's going to be so behind the scenes. We're not even going to know about this a month from now, but yeah, the WWE will know about it. The WWE can build, and any true wrestling fan, even if you hate WWE, should like this, because now we have an opportunity to WWE to have eyeballs on up and coming people instead of just waiting to steal from AEW or TNA or hearing about them randomly. I mean, this is a great strategy in a great way, and it makes people be hopeful to maybe work harder to get to where they need to get to and work on their character development and their wrestling skills. I think this is a win-win. I don't care if it goes to WWE. And once again, like we were saying off before we got on here, AEW can do the same exact thing. Just because WWE is doing it, AEW can literally have an AEW ID and do the same exact thing and have other wrestling schools that they haven't done yet and do the same. This is nothing about I don't even want to get into that. Just this is a good thing. AEW can do the same thing, and let's help build pro wrestling, man.
Yeah, and the thing I like about it too is that normally the WWE I don't really want to sit here and compare Triple H to Vince all day, but Vince was out of touch. He never paid attention to the independent scene, and we have a bunch of wrestlers right now that are doing fantastic work, but they're not from the independent scene. You have guys like Trick Williams who was a college athlete, and that's how he got noticed by the WWE, because he had the body. He didn't really go the independent circuit. He was just he's kind of come up through NXT, and then you had guys like Brock Lesnar who definitely did. I mean, he was in OVW for a while.
He was in OVW,
but he was also the athlete, and and Kurt Angle was the Olympic gold medalist. So they kind of went after the former pro athletes. Now they're going after people that are already trained in wrestling, that are that have the wrestling experience, have the wrestling background. And now it's just helping them fine tune their craft and making them better. So I think it's a win-win for everybody.
It's so funny because, a year ago, these same people who are complaining, saying WWE is monopolizing and taking back the old territories, they were anti-Logan Paul. They were anti-Tiffany Strattons. They were anti all these people, Kalani Jordans, who were coming in not from the independent scene, and they were just pure athletes being brought in. And now it's now they want to get indie wrestlers, and they're like, oh, this is their way of like, just shut up. Like, if you love pro wrestling, but stop pretending like you do when you don't. This is good for WWE. This builds a way for AEW to do the same exact thing. This is a phenomenal idea. It's great. I like it. Whether it works or not, at least it's an idea, right? At least you're attempting to do something. It was like when Obamacare started, right? Did everyone think it was perfect? No, but at least it was an idea to try to get people a way to get health insurance and so on. Like, sometimes ideas aren't perfect, but it's just the way that you're at least thinking of your idea. And this is WWE thinking outside the box, like, hey, let's give these indie guys a chance. If they go to these 5 places, we'll have an eyeball on them, and there you go. I mean, I don't see a problem with it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I want to,
if it works or not.
Yeah,
you know?
we're gonna need some more information on it and
Yeah,
kind of see like is the ID if you're a WWE ID prospect and you're supposed to main event, I don't know, Southwest Championship Wrestling down in,
Mm,
you know, BFE somewhere, and
mhm,
your main event is against Roosh of AEW.
mm,
Because AEW wrestlers like to go on the independent scene as well
mhm,
and do things outside of
mhm,
AEW. Well, WWE nix that and say, nah, you probably shouldn't do. You know what I mean? Like
mhm.
that's kind of the one thing I want to see. Like, are they going to kind of control it from that regard of like who you can and can't wrestle, who you can and can't go against? Because that guy's in AEW, that's our
Mhm.
competitor. So I could see there being some challenges there, but
And I don't
uh,
think so, though. I don't think they
yeah, I
care,
don't
to
think
be
so. Yeah,
honest. Yeah.
I don't either. But who knows? But it could be an issue. But right now, I think that's a bridge we'll cross when we get there. But right
Yeah,
now, this is a good thing for wrestling. I think
I agree.
people need to enjoy it.
For the idea. I'm not sitting here
Yeah,
saying this is gonna work and this is gonna revolution. I'm saying A
yeah.
for effort.
It may fall
Sometimes you
flat on
gotta
its
give
face.
it
Yeah,
exactly, but at least they're attempting and it's an A for effort. Move on, people. Yeah.
exactly.
All right, let's get into some smack sound, baby. Are you ready?
Always. Let me get my.
We talked about this beforehand, and this was like because you were asking me like, "Hey, did you watch it?" I'm like, "Yeah." You're like, "Did you enjoy it?" I'm like, "This was like pure chaos, and not in a bad way. It was just I was watching it like, holy cow, like I'm all
Yeah.
over the damn place with this thing." So let's get into this chaotic smack sound. Randy Orton calls out Triple H, and Triple H says he doesn't want Orton to face KO because he wants to protect him. A word about you, Randy. Orton wants old Triple H back, so I guess he gets him. I would have liked him to like rip off his thing and have the leather jacket on, but nah, you get what you get. But Triple H gives him the match. Andrade and Carmelo Hayes ends in a no contest because LA Knight just like takes over the match and then declares him the winner because he was a referee. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton says she'll take out Bailey tonight. I'm pretty sure she said Bailey, but she doesn't end up wrestling Bailey, so I don't know what the heck this was about either. But Nia Jax says Candice LeRae's already on it. Nick Aldis says LA Knight, yeah, we'll have a three-way, yeah, at Crown Jewel for his title, yeah. Naomi defeats Candice LeRae. Out comes the big dumb belt. Am I the only one who like what? Do we have to have 4 minutes of screen time for this stupid belt being carried in every week? Like no one gives a crap about this belt. We already know it's carried in. Just
Yeah.
open it and put it out. Why do we
And
have
they're
to
treating
have
it
like
like the Stanley Cup with the gloves.
yes,
Yeah.
stupid. Okay, anyway.
Can't smudge it. Yeah. Can't get fingerprints
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, and then they wrestle around it and get in a brawl where it could easily just be knocked over. But yeah, let's make sure we have the gloves on. We get Gunther and Cody Rhodes back and forth. Gunther tells Cody all he does is worry about everyone else and does everything for someone else. I mean, damn, that's like Cody Rhodes' title reign in a nutshell. Cody says Gunther is selfish and not a company man because he doesn't like to. Who gives a crap if he's a company man? They brawl when Ludwig Kaiser comes out, and then Randy Orton helps clear the ring for Cody. At Crown Jewel, we will get a four-way for the women's tag team titles. Motor
Whoa.
City. I almost messed up there. Motor City Machine Guns defeat DIY to become the new number one contenders. They'll probably fight for those tag titles sometime next month. The Bloodline comes out and says they'll face them right now for the tag team titles.
Oh.
So, hey, all right.
Yeah.
Mazel
Maybe
tov.
Crown Jewel,
Motor-
but no.
Yeah.
It is not.
No. Right now. So the Motor City Machine Guns defeat the Bloodline to win the tag titles with the help from Yeet. Jimmy Uso then hits the ring, and him and Yeet hug it out to close the show, and that's the Smack Yeet review. What's good? See, it was chaotic, and there's only like 3 things that happened the entire night. Randy,
It was.
LA Knight, Yeet. That was pretty much it. Motor City Machine Guns. That was like really. It was just. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
It worked,
This
though.
was. It was a good episode. It was topsy-turvy episode though for sure. But I mean, we'll talk about the Bloodline, or because the big thing coming out of this episode was this was rushed. That Survivor Series, yes, is in 29 or I guess 30 days now from today. It was 37 days from last week. So was the Usos reunion rushed? I mean, Jey Uso literally lost his Intercontinental Championship last Monday on Raw.
Yeet.
And then
Bad
and
timing.
then 2 or 3 days later he's reuniting with Jimmy and he's costing the Bloodline their tag team titles. I mean, it's an eye for an eye, so I understand why they had the Bloodline drop the titles. But was it rushed? That's what I don't think it was. I think got to build to this pay-per-view somehow,
No,
some way.
yeah.
And I think we still have the whole Sami Zayn angle. We still have a bunch of stuff going on there.
What's
So-
Sami Zayn angle? What are you talking
We're
about?
right. Yeah, we're not there
Yeah,
yet.
that on
But
SmackDown, yeah.
but we still have to build to this, and we still got the Roman Reigns. How does he feel about this? Because they kept showing him. He looked perplexed that Jay reunited, but I don't know if he looked happy. What his emotions were saying. So I think we got to get there somehow. So I don't think this was rushed. I think this was perfect. I like the way it was done. The one thing I don't like is Motor City Machine Guns winning the tag team championships.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Yeet. Let's hear it. We're about to lose some views. Let's go.
I understand. I get it. I know that they're a decorated tag team, and I like how they keep dropping little impact puns here and there. That's how you make an impact.
That was well said by Solo.
It was.
Sorry, I thought he delivered it.
Yeah, Solo did
smoothly.
great.
I
Solo,
thought it was pretty good with it.
The
when
week
he said
before,
it.
yeah. No, Solo did great. But this is their third match. Like in WWE, and I feel like if the logo in the bottom right hand corner was different, and this was AEW, and somebody won a title in their third match with no build, no story, really no nothing, and they won their titles. I feel like we'd be clowning it. So I also feel like, I don't know, it just feels too soon. Like, we know who the Motor City, the main wrestling fans know who the Motor City Machine Guns are, because they told us, and they're Impact, longtime tag team champions and on TNA side and other wrestling promotions, but this is their first time in the WWE. People that only watch the WWE may not know who they are, and here they are in their third match winning the tag team titles. Like, at least build a character, build a story. That's why I didn't think winning. I'm okay with them winning the tag team titles. I just didn't think it needed to happen on SmackDown. It should have happened maybe even at Crown Jewel, or even at Survivor Series. I don't know, like or a couple of weeks later on SmackDown, and give it time to build. We build to the match, give us a reason to be invested in the Motor City Machine Guns as a tag team, get us a reason to get the WWE fans to know who they are, so that we can so when they do win, it's a pretty big deal. They also felt second fiddle to the Jey Uso stuff. A decorated tag team wins, and they're the second fiddle to the Bloodline story, and they only win because of Jey Uso. So I don't know. I didn't like them winning on SmackDown, but I'm okay with them winning the tag team titles just in a little bit later.
All right. So, all right. So I respect everything you just said. I'm going to counter it, but I still respect everything you said.
Go for it. Yeah.
I'm right. Well, first let's start. Let's start with the Bloodline. You're saying that you're not saying, but people have said that they think it moves too fast and this and that. So let's just spoil it, because it was already recorded. It happens tomorrow. If you don't know, then sorry. But obviously, the OG Bloodline do reunite on SmackDown. Jay, Jimmy, Roman. I won't say how, but they're all good now. And obviously, because we have predictions coming up, so we might as well just say it. But they are going to face the Bloodline at Crown Jewel. So with
they
all
announced
of that
on Raw.
said,
They announced that on Raw.
Oh, did they? Okay. So, which is weird, because they haven't even reunited yet. They reunite and they even said that on Monday Night Raw, which they already recorded the episode, and they're like, I still don't trust Roman. We are we are not the ones. And I was like, but you already recorded that you are. That's the problem with the internet. But here's the thing, right? Is that, so obviously it's not rushed, because they want to have this at Crown Jewel so they can build more to that Survivor Series match. So like you said, I agree. I don't think it was rushed. Now let's jump into Motor City. Why can I not say that?
All right, saying that 5 times fast.
Yeah, right. Motor City Machine Guns. So here, you made a great point. The hardcore fans will know who they are, but here's the problem: hardcore fans watch AEW. Hardcore fans don't watch WWE for the most part. So if you have not noticed by their reactions, people don't know who they are. And for shame on WWE, because WWE is usually really, really good, and they have a build with there should have been all sorts of build of them and who they are and why they're important. And why they're rushing into these tag team title wins, because they're so decorated and they are so great, but it didn't feel like that. And the fans in the arena didn't notice that either.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it last week when we did our episode. And I texted you afterwards. We didn't talk about this debut, but they made their SmackDown debut last week, and they've been airing vignettes all over TV, like with the hyping up the Motor City Machine Guns. And the way they introduced them,
but not who they are. Yeah.
and the way that they introduced them was on social media. They showed a clip of Nick Aldis being like, "Hey guys, welcome to SmackDown," and there's Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin being like, "Hey guys, here we are in SmackDown. What do we do tonight, boss?" It was just like that's how you introduce them on social media, like one of the most decorated tag teams ever. You bring them on social media. So I feel like from the jump they've kind of botched this whole thing, and so that's why putting the titles on them, it's a little, that was rushed. That's too soon.
Yeah, I agree with you there. But not only that, maybe I haven't seen them in a minute, but is it just me or do they look like they're like 72 years old? They look like they've had work. They look old. So you got to think, if you are a non-knowledgeable fan, you're watching them wrestle and maybe you're like, hey, they're popping, they're good, but who the hell are these guys? And then I see them on the screen and they look like they're 62 years old and on Ozempic. They don't look like they're like these dominant people. So shame on WWE, because I agree with you. I think it was rushed, but only because WWE didn't present them how they should be. Motor City Machine Guns are the real deal, bro. They are like legit. And if you don't know, go and subscribe to Impact, their TNA thing, for 1 month and just watch all of their shit. They are phenomenal. And so they deserve to have this. They just weren't presented correctly. But here's my thing. This is why I do think either way it is a positive. The two current tag team champions in WWE should not have the tag team titles. We need to stop giving it to factions to try to build them. So the Bloodline losing it only benefits the Bloodline. It helped Jey Uso push the story. So that's all a win. Just like I think another tag team champions and Monday Night Raw are going to lose their titles too, because you don't need them. We need the tag team division to be great again. And by doing that, we need real tag teams to have these belts, whether you like those tag teams or not, because then they can have current matches without being distracted by being in a faction. So I do like it, but I do think WWE, which is a very rare thing to happen, dropped the ball on promoting them properly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's my issue is I don't think it's not that I don't think they deserve the tag team titles. It's just
I know that
the way they've been presented and the way that they were, give their third match in, they win the belt. Like they should have been treated like a big deal from the get-go. And instead it was, hey guys, welcome to WWE, and they're on SmackDown on social media. It was just a really bizarre thing.
It was very Tony Khan. All right, let's get into it because we got to move back. I forgot we got to go Triple H and Randy Orton. Let's talk about that segment, bro. I know you loved it because
did Triple H forget who he was talking to? Did he forget? Like, was he having a Vince moment where he forgot? He forgets who his characters are. Like Randy Orton is one of the most devastating characters out there. This man, he punted Triple H's wife. He broke into Triple H's house. He burned down the Firefly Funhouse. He beat. He survived Bray Wyatt when Bray Wyatt rose from the ashes and beat him down. He has done so many. He threw Mick Foley down a flight of stairs. He was
a legend killer.
Yeah, he's beaten legend after legend after legend. And yet you're worried about Kevin Owens, which it's not a knock on Kevin Owens. It's just this current presentation of Kevin Owens. You haven't shown us how dangerous he can be. You've just told us Kevin Owens is dangerous. Why? Because he shoved Cody Rhodes' face on a truck. Okay. Yeah. Randy Orton has done 10 times worse than that. So I think that this promo maybe should have happened this week on this episode of SmackDown that's coming up. And then they use this episode to show us how dangerous this Kevin Owens version can be. Flip it around. And then boom, then I would have been in on it. But I understand we have Crown Jewel, and it was just, but yeah, I just didn't like this promo at all.
Yeah. I don't even need to say anything. That was perfect. That's how it should have done. And basically we're getting that Kevin Owens, but now we're getting it after the fact. And that's stupid. Also, I know wrestling disbelief. I get it. But Randy Orton right now is like 300 pounds of pure scare. It's the biggest he has ever been. He's not like super slim, but he is like 6-packed, beefy. His head is now bigger than ever. And then there's Kevin Owens. And I'm supposed to believe that this man is going to it. That would be like, hey, Brock Lesnar, you better watch out. Kevin Owens. Like it was just, I get what Triple H is trying to do, but it was a miss. And also Triple H, another thing I hate too is that my business suit's on. So now I'm Paul Levesque. Right, Michael Hickenbottom. We're just here. That's HBK if you don't know. We're just here to just have a good time and be in the off. No, you're Triple H. That's not your character. It was just it was like they were backstage like, how can we promote this?
And
Let's say Randy's afraid of him, and then Randy will tell you to be old Triple H because you guys used to be in a crew. It was a huge miss. Huge miss.
The whole segment.
Stupid.
It was like, and the commentary is being like, Triple H doesn't want to come out here. Triple H is like hiding behind the.
He doesn't want to come out here.
But yet they play his music. Like, if he didn't want to come out, why'd you play his music? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Make it at least feel somewhat real. But like force him to come out. You know, like when Randy Orton went to talk to him at Gorilla, and that was the other thing. They showed that entrance thing again when they show Randy Orton going over to whisper something to Triple H. Why not grab him and bring him out to the ring with you?
Yes.
And be like, hey, I'm bringing you out here against your will because I'm demanding. I'm not asking. I'm telling that I want a match with Kevin Owens, and then kind of do it that way instead of talking to him, walking to the ring, grabbing a mic, calling him out again, and then Triple H playing his music for whatever reason. It was all weird, very strange.
Because Trips wants attention, bro.
Oh, he loves it.
That's why everyone's like, oh, stop hating on him. He's barely on the TV. He's on the TV every week. No matter what he's on. Triple H, just become a character. You don't have to be Mr. McMahon, but you want to be him. So just come out,
executive
be Eric
producer
Bischoff.
Paul Levesque.
Yes, just be a freaking character. So we don't have to like you.
Yeah.
All right. You ready to move on to Halloween? Halloween Havoc?
If we have
get
to.
into it. Yes. I actually have a lot of thumbs up. Okay, let's get into it. 2 thumbs up with attitude, or 2. Why do we keep saying thumbs up? 2 thumbs with attitudes. NXT Halloween Havoc. This is where we are going to do all 5 matches. Thumbs up or thumbs down. For a thumbs up, it needs to be 80% or better. So even if we get a thumbs down, it doesn't necessarily mean the match sucked. It just means it wasn't a B or higher. It means it has to be way above average. Let's get into it. Tony D versus Oba Femi, where Tony D defends his North American title. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm going thumbs up for this match. I thought this match was probably the match of the night. It was definitely my favorite match of the entire night. I loved everything about it. Oba Femi he's a stud. Tony D's a stud. You know, you could make a case for both of these guys to go to the main roster. And I loved everything about this match. I thought it was a great way to open the show.
I agree. They are 3 for 3. It is a banger. The right person won. Thumbs all the way up, buddy. And I gotta say, Oba Femi's walk, that walk that he does, I think is pretty close to the Vince McMahon, Conor McGregor.
The strut. Yeah. It's pretty dope.
We're getting there. We are. It's just and it's so funny how stupid it is. It was like not even creative, but his stupid slow walk. Yeah, man. That's gonna start getting to that legendary strut stratus where if he gets big, you're going to see people doing that stupid walk all over the place. It is hilarious. I already want to do it, but it's just so basic of him just walking slow, just like boop.
Yeah.
Boop.
I know.
It's just awesome. Awesome stuff. Oba Femi, man.
He's good.
I apologize for not believing in you, just like Bronson Reed. I didn't believe in him at first, and now I'm all on board. I'm allowed to admit that. All right. Let's get into it. We had Julia and Stephanie Vaquer defeating Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. What do you got? A lot of people think this was the match of the night, but what do you got?
I'm gonna go thumbs up for this. I thought this match was fun. It was entertaining. I didn't like it more than the Tony D and Oba Femi match, but I thought it served its purpose. The women they stole the show the whole night at Halloween Havoc. I thought this was another perfect case of it. I love Roxanne Perez taking the pin. They're advancing that story. We'll get more into that when we get to NXT. So I loved everything about this. It was a great debut for Stephanie and Julia in the ring for pay-per-view.
Yeah, this match was bussin'. It was good for your eyes if you're a guy who likes girls. It was good for wrestling if you are a fan. It was a good match. It showcased 4 of the best female wrestlers in the world. You know, I'm not saying they're top 4, but 4 of the best. All of them. And that is Cora Jade as well. She's phenomenal. Yeah, I liked it. The right team won. And I predicted this perfectly. I said Stephanie Vaquer would pin Roxanne Perez. The build to that later, which we're going to get. So, yeah, all for it. Thumbs all the way up, bruv. The end. All right, next match in the first shocker. I missed 2 predictions, and they both fit into each other. But Ridge Holland the new beefy, meaty. He's like you if you were on steroids. You guys kind of have a vibe too. I
Right,
know it's
yeah.
not the red hair, but you're there. I'm not saying you ain't buff, but he on
Yeah.
steroids. But we got sorry, Rich, if you're not on steroids, props to you. But Ridge Holland defeats Andre Chase in a ambulance match. Thumbs up or thumbs down? I feel like we're gonna differ on here, but go ahead. Let's go.
I'm gonna go thumbs down. I thought
Yes,
this
we are.
match was it was just kind of meh. You know,
Mm.
it wasn't terrible, but it
Mhm.
wasn't great. It was just kind of meh. I mean,
Mm.
really nothing else to say. Like, it was just the way it ended was really weird because you know, he got in the ambulance and then he, for whatever reason, he didn't shut the door, and then then all of a sudden Andre Chase, like, he's like dominating, and then Ridge Holland like hulks up, I guess, and then he just throws him in the ambulance and shuts the door. It was just kind of a very not fluky, but just a very meh ending. I thought it was fine for what it was, but we had a little too much Ridge Holland on this show, I think, and we'll get more into that. But yeah, so I thought this was it was a great win for Ridge. I think it was the right outcome for him to win, but the way it was done, remember, it's 80% or better for a thumbs up. I'm gonna say it was about a 75.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan enjoys wrestling. Woke up. He had some haterade.
Chose
and
violence.
He watched this Ridge Holland and was like, nope. So I wanted Andre Chase to win. I didn't think it made sense. But I usually try not to take my voting on there. But then I also found out what happened in the main event, and then I kind of liked it. So we're going to disagree on that too. But I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I thought it was fun. For an ambulance match, it was kind of corny, but it was a little bit violent.
Also,
And
that wasn't an ambulance. That was the Ghostbusters car. That was like,
correct.
Let's throw that.
Correct.
That's not an ambulance.
And why did they keep moving the one thing that, like, the stretcher that you put them on that moved up and down? Because they didn't put that in it, but they kept carrying them. Like, was that part of it? Did you have to put them on there, push them to the Ghostbusters car, and then throw them in? I was very confused on what was being utilized. But either way, I did like it, and I give it a thumbs up. Barely, but it was a thumbs up. All right. I'm just going to say who won this match. It was a gauntlet match, but Fallon Henley defeats Kalani Jordan to win the Women's North American Championship. Fallon, so am I the only one who thought JC Jane was the leader? That poor girl, man. She leaves a crew, and now she's also not the leader again in another crew. Fallon Henley's the bigger star. Is she?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on this? I don't know. But she was the last one to go. She won the match. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm going thumbs up. I thought, Kalani Jordan was a great NXT Women's North American Champion. It was a great inaugural run for her, but the reign had to end, and I think Fallon Henley is perfect for it. So she's a perfect mid-carder in NXT, perfect person to hold the title. I thought the match was fun. I like that we kind of didn't know who was going to come out, who was going to be next, and kudos to, Kalani Jordan. She was fantastic. So I thought this match was not quite as good as the other women's match, but it was still good nonetheless. And so I give it a thumbs up.
Back-to-back disagrees. I'm going to give it a thumbs
down. All right.
Only because I just thought, I don't know. I thought it was a little wonky. This is not a knock on Kalani Jordan. I thought that she shouldn't have beat my girl So Ruka, my future wife, in the match to win the Women's North American Championship, but she did, and she proved me wrong. She has had great matches, has held herself up. I think Fallon Henley winning it is a good choice. I would rather have had JC Jane just because I feel bad for her, because I feel like she works hard, and I thought she was the leader of Fatal Influence. Yeah, but she's always like the second best. By the way, when we're talking about all this, Gigi Dolan, holy shnikes, she appeared at the beginning, and I was like in my feelings.
I forgot about her,
and oh man, and I wish I hadn't, because she was looking even better. That was like, woo. Anyway, on top of that, but yeah, I barely give it a thumbs down. I think it was like a C. I don't think it was a bad match. Just kind of like how you feel about the Ridge one. I thought it was close, but I did like the right winner, and props to Kalani. You did your thing, girl. All right, main event time. Trick Williams defeats Ethan Page in a Devil's Playground match for the NXT Championship. Thumbs up or thumbs down, and I guess now's our time to get into all the nonsense of busting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go very, very fringe thumbs up. I like the match. It was a little corny, a little campy. The props looked a little cheap, but very like he was like NXT went to the Dollar Tree before the pay-per-view and threw some stuff out there. You got to get the spider webs and you got to get the fake spiders.
AAA, bro. They're the
Yeah.
AAA. They gotta save money somehow.
They're ballers on a budget. Wait until you watch Dynamite this week, though. But
yes,
it's Fright Night Dynamite. But
that's right.
But so they have Halloween stuff. But I thought, I mean, the match itself was a little corny and campy. The Devil's Playground and stuff. It was just, I mean, whatever. But I thought I was surprised. I think we both picked Ethan Page to win. I think we both wanted Ethan Page to win with some sort of shenanigans. I was surprised that Trick Williams retained. But I'm glad that this. So I thought this feud was going to be over, but it looks like it might continue after this. But it was. I mean, the match was. It was. I'd probably say it's about an 81%. It was enjoyable. It was fun, but really just nothing memorable other than the stuff at the end with when Ridge Holland came out. So, and it looks like that's Trick Williams' next opponent potentially. So I don't know. I feel like I understand why Ridge Holland is the guy. And I said we had a little too much Ridge earlier because he was involved in 4 segments. We saw him 4 times. He was on the pre-show where he interrupted Bubba Ray Dudley when Dave LaGreca. Then he had the ambulance match. Then he interrupted Bubba Ray again on the when they were talking about the women and Stephanie Vacour and all that. And then we saw Ridge Holland at the end as setting up. So I thought maybe it was a little too much, but I don't know. I feel like the crowd wasn't as invested. I feel like it was just kind of a dud there at the end. But the wrestling, the in-ring stuff between Ethan Page and Trick Williams was good. So I'm going to go very, very fringe thumbs up. Almost a thumbs down.
I have it exactly how you have it, like an 81%. This was their worst match they had out of the 3 matches they've had.
Absolutely.
But it was still a hit enough. It's funny that you bring up. So we had the Tony D match, fire. We had the women's tag team match, fire. And then all of a sudden, out comes Busted Open, the probably biggest downfall of a podcast going on right now in pro wrestling. It used to be the most popular, and I think they're going to regret all the decisions they're making because that podcast has gone to crap, other than hardcore fans who are going to be like, no, I'm down with it. But I posted about it and about how I felt they sucked the energy out of the thing, and they did. Because right after that, I was out of it. And then the Ridge match happened, and you were kind of thumbs down. And then they were back again after that, and they were talking to each other off the cuff. I don't think they were scripted, and they weren't even vibing with each other. There was a time where Bully Ray was like, Dave, say her name. Who came out after that match? Say her name. And he was like, so I'm very excited for Ridge Holland versus Andre Chase. And I was like, what the? Are you guys on this? I don't even think Dave was listening. And then everything was like over the top when, oh my gosh, Stephanie Vaquer is a star. Like, HBK, get your wiener over here and put it in my mouth. This was fantastic. I just want to gobble it up because it's such good television. This is way better than AEW. It was just like, so like, what you guys are in podcast. Like, if they had us on, I would be super duper, but I would tell them, hey, I'm going to give a fair assessment, bro. Like, if you want me on here, I'm going to talk, but I'm not going to be like all stupid unless you're paying me to be in WWE. If you're going to be as a guest, I'm not going to be there and be like, Randy Orton, like, no one's better than Trek. Like, no, like, let me like give a fair assessment. I thought they were stupid, pointless. And some dude wrote on my comments, you weren't there, bro. They were chanting ECW. What the hell does Dave LaGreca have to do with ECW? If you want to throw ECW down our throats, because this next week, which they do on NXT, which we'll get into, all you needed was Bully. You didn't need Busted Open. Who gives a crap about Busted Open?
Yeah.
So it was like, it took me out of it, and I hated all of it. And I am a Bully Ray fan, and you know that. I think he has one of the greatest title reigns in our generation. Aces and Eights is one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated faction of all time. But this was stupid. And yes, I think Dave LaGreca used that exact line about HBK that I said, and you know it. He was like, I'll be your Sonny. But yeah. Too soon.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, everything there at the end was just, it was unnecessary. I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about this because I got more thoughts on it.
All right, let's get into it then. Let's move on to Raw. By the way, I have to say, because you were kind of like, well, you know, heartbreak dude, because you call me that all the time. You don't call me that. You call me the heartbreak dude nonstop when you text me or call.
Yeah,
you're like, what up, heartbreak dude? By the way, I should be the one who wants to do that to HBK, but not now. I'm old HBK. I don't want this new HBK.
Yeah.
He's have you seen those poor memes about him where people are like me, like in like on Instagram, and me in reality, or me when I look in the mirror and me in reality,
Yeah,
and they show like
and it's him.
HBK with his hair barely, and he's like all third. Like, how you want to talk about one of the biggest looks downfall of all time? We got a lot of females that you might love. HBK might be up there.
It's up
dude.
there.
That
Yeah.
dude was like the set. It's like, don't do drugs, kids. And I'm sure HBK will admit that. And this is my goat I'm talking about. Like, I love HBK. But yeah, man. Heartbreak.
He is
dude.
not aged well. Yeah.
No, he has not. But you said Raw needs to be 3 hours. Raw needs to be 3 hours. I'm sorry, bro. These 2-hour Raws are fire, man. I like how quick they go. They're over. I don't spend my entire Monday night watching it. It's like, dude, Netflix, if you want to do 2 hours and 20 minutes here and there, but let's stop with I don't need a Lord of the Rings Raw every week. It's just too much for me. Too much. I look at movies now like that when I'm like, I'm going to go see, you want to see this movie? And it's like, oh, 3 hours? Yeah, no. Let's go see that like other movie that's like 1 hour and 50 minutes. I don't have 3 hours of my life anymore. So, but anyway,
See, I'm the opposite.
I digress.
But
I know you're like,
I'm going to the theater
and
I'm dropping all that money. I'm like, the movie better be longer than 90 minutes. Like, I'm not going to be here.
Most movies now are like all 2 hours, right?
Well, like
that's
my kids
norm.
want to see like 89, like movies, like the Garfield movie was like it was like 88 minutes. I'm like, that's an hour and 20, and it's like cost me $35 for these. Like, no, I want freaking, I want the Dark Knight schedule. I want, 3,
but not the Dark Knight.
Yeah, I want the Avengers like where it's like 3 hours long. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
If I'm dropping all that money at the theater.
Well, here's the thing, right? I don't know if it's like this in North Carolina, but out here in Cali, bruh, our movies, if it's 2 hours, you're going to be in the theater for 2 hours and 45 minutes because the movie theaters, they don't even have trailers anymore. Now it's commercials, and not commercials before the movie. The movie, it starts, let's all go to and then you get commercials, trailers, a couple more commercials, trailer. I don't even show up on time anymore. I always show up 20 minutes late, and the previous trailers are still on. Like, so you're there forever now. But if you want to see a good kid movie, dude, Wild Robot, I'm going to tell you right now,
I want to see that
through the whole movie. You're going to cry the whole movie. The Wild Robot is like the best kids movie maybe ever made. But anyway, let's get into some Monday Night Raw. Jay Uso.
More viewers.
No, they like that. You want a little bit. You can't all be wrestling. You need some of our opinions. We're going to talk about our favorite Halloween candy at the end of the show. Now, I'm adding that segment right now.
Bring it on.
I'm pulling the producer and doing it. It's Halloween.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Jay Uso opens the show, and out comes Jimmy Uso. No, yeet. Not all is forgiven yet. So not yet. But it seems like they want to. Out comes the Bloodline, and they brawl, but Jay and Jimmy stand tall. Daddy Dom will face Damian Priest, so not Rhea Ripley, tonight. Sheamus defeats Ludwig Kaiser. What does Sheamus have to do with that? Anyway, Rhea Ripley wants her title back, obviously. Jay Uso and Sami Zayn talk about the Bloodline, and Sami doesn't get why Jay would go back. And Jay says, it's because you ain't family. That was I don't know if it was just me, but that line hit me hard. Ivy Nile defeats Selena Vega. Poor Selena Vega. Seth Rollins out for a promo, and him and Bronson Reed brawl backstage with both of them lying through a table to close the segment. R-Truth punches The Miz in the face. That's real life, y'all. The War Raiders win a 3-way to earn a chance at the tag team titles held by the Judgment Day. Seth Rollins is getting medical treatment. Karrion Kross tells Miz he has to take Bo Dallas out. The Miz doesn't seem. He's like, dude, I just got knocked out by R-Truth. You think I can beat up Bo Dallas? The Usos are leaving the building, and they see Sami Zayn having a chat with Solo Sikoa. Boom, boom, boom. And in the main event, Daddy Dom defeats, I repeat, Daddy Dom defeats Damian Priest to earn that chance at a chance to earn a chance at the chance to earn a title match. After the match, Priest lays Dom out to close the show, and that is a super quick Monday Night Raw review. Let's go. I love it.
See, I'm going to take your argument earlier and say that this Raw was exactly why they should have kept it at 3 hours. And because there were two pivotal moments that were kind of given to us as quote unquote deleted scenes from Monday Night Raw that you had to watch on, they're like WWE.com exclusives. One of them is the Miz getting kidnapped by Bo Dallas on his bus.
I didn't see that. Wait, what?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I saw the other one you're talking about. I did not see that. Wait, who has a bus?
or the Miz is backstage. He's talking. I can't remember what happens. He's talking to Adam Pearce or something, and they show that he gets on his bus, and you see a hand reach out and grab him, and it's Bo. Yeah, so they don't show that on Monday Night Raw. So you got to watch that, and then there's another one of Karrion Kross where he's like looking for the Miz, and then there's another one of Finn Balor and the Judgment Day. And Finn Balor's upset that Dominic said, "Hey, why let's everyone stay back? I got this by myself." But yet there goes JD McDonough, there goes Carlito, Finn Balor's all upset that everybody went out there, and JD should be really focusing on the tag team championships and not on him. Basically teasing yet again another potential Judgment Day breakup. And I'm getting really tired of it. I'm just like I'm over these constant. This group just has been together for 15 minutes. We just added Raquel Rodriguez last week, and now all of a sudden we're talking about dissension in the group. There's more, Finn Balor looks to be a little jealous that Dom's getting the shot at the World Heavyweight title, and he beat Damian Priest, something that Finn Balor couldn't do. And now that Dom's moving on to the title picture, and that's where Finn Balor belongs. Yeah, there's just a lot of like these deleted scenes that they keep showing, that if you don't watch, you don't know that they happen. And then they show them on Raw. I just put Raw back at 3 hours and show us this stuff on TV, because these are pivotal moments.
You're right, but Triple H is an evolver, and he likes to evolve with the business. And just like the KO thing where I thought it was stupid, and then I looked back at it and I was like, this is genius. This is why he's doing it. It gets people talking, gets people wondering, gets people looking into that. They got to push their product everywhere. Here's my thing, though. You made a good observation, right? Where you said Finn Balor had this thing and he looks upset and he's mad and everybody else and he's jealous and this and that. I work in the field of education. When I was getting my master's degree,
here we go.
Just so you know, master's degree, you don't have to be smart. You just have to have money and hope, or go into debt and have dedication. But anyway, so when we observe children, the key thing was that you always had to write exactly what happened. You can never assume. So if a kid pushed another kid, you couldn't put, oh, so-and-so child A got upset with child B, so child A pushes child B, right? You have, because that's basically telling people how they feel when you don't know how they felt. I feel the same way about this Bloodline segment. Finn Balor, sure, he looked upset. Sure, he walked away. Sure, he did this and that. But Finn Balor has yet to say that he's upset, that he's jealous and Dom, that he's this and that. That is a assumption made by you and other people. I think this is going the other way, and I made a TikTok about it. They did not just break up the Judgment Day with, they have confirmed that it was all Daddy Dom and Finn Balor. It was a huge master plan just to 3 weeks later have them do it. Nah, fam. This is all a trick, because Daddy Dom is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship with the help from Finn Balor. This is all a diversion. Magicians, right? Look at my hand. Look at my hand. We're doing this trick. Look at my hand. Look at my hand. Look at my hand. Well, here's the magic trick, right?
Yeah.
You got to make them look one way to not see what's happening. Hell no, they ain't breaking them up. Finn Balor and Daddy Dom are for life. This is a diversion. You were just assuming he is mad. He is not upset. He's just.
I'm just going. Yeah.
He's dissecting. No, you're right. Finn Balor's a master. He's a master plan. I think he hates Damian Priest so much that he's willing to have Daddy Dom win that title just to shove it in his face. I think that's how much he's like.
Yeah. But
done with Damian Priest.
Why didn't he come out when JD McDonough and Carlito went out?
Look at my hand.
I know. I know. But if he hates Damian Priest that much, that was their opportunity to get him.
He was fine. He sent the crew in and it worked. He's a master planner. He knows what's up. He's like dude from the Lego movie, right? He knows how to master build everything.
And also, also Damian Priest, like the way that Raw ended, that was a heel move. All the constant beatdowns, the constant picking him up and choke slamming Dirty Dom, going back, walking up the ramp, going back into the ring and doing it again. That was a heel move. Like that's not babyface, but
no. Him and Rhea
Yeah.
are for sure the heels in this. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
What the heck did
Rhodes
Daddy
before
Dom
Hose.
do?
Damian Priest forgot about that a long time ago.
100%. And Daddy Dom was mistreated by his girlfriend for 2 years and found a girlfriend who loves him, feeds him chicken nuggies, talks about how hot his mustache is, gives him lovin', buys him video games. She is legit the perfect wife, and she worked at Hooters. Whereas Rhea Ripley worked at like Crunch Fitness, like no thanks. Move on. Pass. Live for the win, bro. That's all I gotta
Oh
say.
man, don't let Buddy Matthews hear you say that.
No way. He'll probably be like, yeah, we work at Crunch Fitness.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're all about. Anyway, all right. What's next? What do you want to talk about next? I'll let you have it.
Yeah, I mean, other than the Usos reunion, not a lot happened on this SmackDown.
Yeah.
So
Did you
I
like
got-
the Uso reunion? Do you like them coming out quick and then hugging it out? It was a nice moment, right?
yeah, I thought it was a good moment. I thought I like that they got the pop. I like that Jay is still apprehensive about everything. He's like, Jimmy's like, yeah, we the ones, and he's like, no, we ain't. We ain't the ones. We're not the ones, and they ain't the ones, and we ain't the ones. Like,
yeah,
because he's still got to deal with Roman Reigns, and he's like, but if we do this, we ain't gonna be nobody's side piece. We ain't gonna be no number twos. We're all gonna be equal. And so I loved everything. I like the backstage stuff with Sami Zayn, where
me too.
Sammy's like,
once again,
it's continuity.
Look at my hand. It's not. Yeah,
it's continuity, but it's continuity. Like Sami Zayn should want nothing to do with the Bloodline.
Yep.
And Jey Uso really shouldn't either. But it makes sense that he's back in. I like that Jay said that you ain't family Uso, so you won't understand. And then Jay was like, I feel bad. I shouldn't have said that.
That was rude. That was rude.
It was a little rude, but
because he was family. That was rude.
Yeah. And then I like the whole thing with Solo too. So I'm excited to see what they do with this, because now we're kind of planting the seeds of war games, and now we know that it's Sami Zayn will be involved somehow, some way. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see what they do.
Dude, that war game is gonna blow my mind. We might go. We're already talking about it, y'all. We might go to Vancouver for that ish.
I'm down.
I'm down too since day one ish. And one more thing to add, I also like that Jay and Jimmy had the line of where Jay said, now people finally can tell us apart. And I like that, because you literally, when they were the Usos, you couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah.
And now it's like, and not just the yeet, no yeet. And I know that's what he had to say, but you can legitimately tell them apart now. And that's a good thing. So I did like that they brought that up. Yeah. All right. You ready for some NXT love? This was a hot mess. All right. Let's get into it. Tatum Paxley defeats Wendy Chu in a casket match. And they made sure to say that only The Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind have ever been in a casket match or something. It was like a weird trivia fact that they threw out there. So it was like a huge deal. But then I was like, it's Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu. That's what. Anyway, Trick Williams out for a chat, and he wants Bully Ray to tag with him. But Bully Ray literally says no, because he doesn't want to take opportunities away from other wrestlers. Ugh. RVD is backstage. Cool. Kalani Jordan wants a rematch, and Lyons tells her to get in line. Nunzio. You heard me right. Nunzio. You heard me right. Nunzio, the first Italian wrestler from the WCW, WWE Attitude Era days, tells Tony D on the phone that he'll see him next week. Charlie Dempsey defeats Lexus King with his father in his corner to defend his Heritage Cup. Zahara. What did they call her on the show?
Say her name.
Say her name.
What's her name, Dave?
Say her name. I'm excited for Rich Holland. Can't feel his fingers. Defeats Brindley Reese after Fatal Influence hits the ring. Roxanne and Jade hit the ring. Julia and Becker hit the ring. And Jordan Grace hits the ring. All right. The women are popping, though, dude.
They are. They're carrying the brand.
And then right after that, Kalani Jordan beats Nikita Lyons. And after Rizzo hits the ring and attacks Lyons. What the Heartbreak Dude say last week? Oh, that's right. That's right. Ethan Page and Ridge Holland out for a chat, and Trick Williams hits the ring. And then Bully Ray comes out. And since Ridge Holland brought up his name, now we get the tag match. So, F your chances. So, there you go. Rhea Ripley is there, and she tells all the girls to blow the roof off, sisters. And then she gets laid out by her car by Liv and Raquel. So now we're doing Monday Night Raw storylines on NXT. What the hell are we doing here? And in the main event, Frazier and Axiom defend their tag titles against Cedric Alexander and Javon Evans, and they get booed. I don't know if you heard that, but they were booed when they won that match. Booed, y'all. They got booed by all 10 people in the arena who are ride or die with Frazier and Axiom. Really weird. And in the backstage, Wesley and Javon Evans are fighting backstage, and RVD, high as a kite, gets in between them and says, I know what I want to do next week to close the show, and that's the NXT review. I don't know if I just want to talk about NXT in a whole or just each thing, but I'll let you start. Go ahead. What you got?
I'll talk about that the last like 5 minutes of NXT because I couldn't help but laugh.
It was
so campy. Like there's an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa Simpson is upset about the Malibu Stacy doll coming out because she's saying sexist things.
Great episode.
And at the very end of that episode, they're all in line for the latest new Malibu Stacy doll. And Lisa stands up on a pedestal and is like, hey, it's just the same Malibu Stacy as all the other ones. The only thing different is she has a hat. And Mr. Smithers, he's like, he stands up. He's like, but she's got a new hat. And they're like, I want it. And they start fighting over it. That's exactly what happened in that main event. It was like they were fighting, and then RVD comes up and he's like, whoa, hey, I know what I'm doing in Philly. And they stop fighting. And they're like, He says his line, and then he's like, then he walks away, and they go back to fighting.
It's
just like, what is going on? Like this was, and then that's how it ends. It was just dumb. But man, it was very much like RVD stops the fight. He's like, hey, I know what I'm doing. And then walks away, and then they go right back to fighting.
Even Ava was like, huh? Oh, okay. Well, at least he knows, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, RVD. By the way, also RVD, I'm sorry, I know he's 75 years old now, but if you have to wear the baggiest basketball shorts and the baggiest tank top, maybe not wrestle anymore, because I'm assuming that means your body's a little out of shape.
I was wondering, were those basketball shorts? Was that like his singlet? Like, what was going on there?
I don't know what was, but okay. I just want to talk as NXT in a whole. I love NXT. I got a belt right behind me. I got Santy back into NXT. I am a huge NXT fan, as you are as well. We have always supported NXT. We've always done the show. But does NXT have to constantly rely on everybody else to give itself a push? And I think this is HBK needs to sit back and realize that we need to have NXT on its own to be able to build the brand. You made up the good point that they've been hitting 700,000. All of a sudden, it was a non-fun episode. It's 588. Next week, it'll go back to 700,000. But what's the point? You have to let it stand alone. We are literally bringing back Nunzio. I get it. They're going to ECW. I get it. I'm surprised we didn't have Paul Heyman come back on Raw. Maybe he'll come back on SmackDown. I haven't. Oh, so he can be there on ECW. Like, what are we like?
Come back on Raw.
Yeah, like I don't get it. Like, we don't need RVD. We don't need Bully Ray. We don't need all the cheap tech to try to just pop a rating. Why can't NXT just go to ECW and have all hardcore matches and make it an ECW vibe, but with their people? I just don't like the route we're going right now with NXT, because I just feel like they rely too much on, we're in St. Louis, Randy Orton. We're in Chicago, Cody Rhodes. We need a hype up in our women's division. Let's bring in Jordan Grace. We're going to ECW. Let's find every ECW wrestler who hasn't had a heart attack.
Dawn Marie.
Dawn Marie's going to do them. Like, and here's the thing. You're going to tell me right now that NXT people know who the hell Nunzio or Dawn Marie are? No, they do not. This isn't AEW. This is just like bad booking, stupidness, and I don't know. I'm excited for the show. I wish I could be there. I think it'd be cool. But why are we bringing back? We rely so much on non-NXT to keep NXT surviving.
Yeah.
That's my take on the whole episode.
Yeah, no, I like that. Well said. My other thing that I was confused about is the TNA NXT partnership dead? Because I don't remember them when Jordan Grace came out. I don't remember them mentioning that she was former TNA Women's Champion, because she lost her belt. She lost her belt at Bound for Glory. They just said, "Hey, here comes Jordan Grace," and like she's here for a fight. I don't remember them saying anything about her. And then Bubba Ray Dudley. First of all, Rich Holland called him Bully, and then Chip Williams called him Bubba a couple of times. So it was like, okay, what's going on there? But also, Bubba Ray, when he was cutting his promo, he was like, maybe I'll pull out the 3D glasses. Maybe I'll pull out the old school tie-dye. Maybe I'll put these glasses on. Maybe I'll yell at you to get the table. Maybe we'll go to the extreme. He never once said, maybe I'll be the biggest bully in the ring, or maybe I'll, and then he talked about how he's won all these titles with tag team divisions, but they never once talked about like he's been wrestling in 2020. Like he's basically
wrestling now. He's literally wrestling currently.
He's in, they talked, but they didn't talk about his TNA run at all. They didn't talk about how he's a former TNA world champion. Rich Holland was basically like, "You're just a radio host," and he was like, "No, I've been wrestling." It was a good line, but
Rich Holland is killing it. I'm telling you.
But it was just, I don't know. It was like, is the TNA partnership like, is it gone? There's been no Joe Hendry on there for a while. I don't know.
Thank God.
Yeah,
and I'm glad Dolph Ziggler beat his ass. That's right, Joe Hendry. And then he got beat up by a 97-year-old JBL.
yeah.
I believe.
But all AEW does is sign ex WWE people. But
Oh, JBL will be there soon. Yeah. But I fully agree with everything you said. Yes, I don't get it either. I don't know if they are or not. Who knows? But yeah, that's
it.
Agree with you. Yeah. Kalani, I mean, but I really, 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 really like Jordan Grace. So hopefully she is coming over, but maybe not. I mean, usually when you lose a title, you're either moving on to something else. And she lost it, I think, kind of abruptly. I know people thought the girl could win the belt off of Jordan Grace, but it was a little coincidence that she lost and then appeared onto here.
Yeah, it was but they didn't mention it. Like Bound for Glory was literally the Friday before Halloween or Saturday before Halloween.
What I'm saying. Yeah,
and they didn't mention it at all. They didn't mention TNA. They didn't bring it up. They didn't mention that Bully Ray's been in TNA at all. They didn't mention any of it. It was just really, really. But yet here we are with this TNA partnership. So I don't know if it's still a thing.
Yeah, and I think it's a miss to have him be Bubba Ray instead of Bully Ray. But I think it's because of he was never. Yeah. And he was never Bully Ray in WWE ECW. He was only Bully Ray in TNA. He was Bubba in WWE, and I think that's why. But Bully Ray is such a better character.
But they could have talked about his TNA run. Like, hey, I've been look at Page, be like, I've been a world champion too, and I've done things that you wouldn't even dream of, or something like that. Like at least allude to it. But instead, he was just talking about how he's won all these tag team titles, and it was like, you've done more than that, man. Like you're selling yourself short. But I get it.
I agree. Like I said, I think he has one of the greatest championship runs of our generation. I'm dead serious about that. I think he really, really has. And I think Aces and Eights is the most underrated faction of all time. So,
yeah.
All right. All right. That's it. That's our weekend review for WWE. Now we're about to get into some predictions while you're setting up that music. And then we got MVD, LVDs, and our favorite Halloween candy. So just one. You better start thinking about which one's your favorite.
I've already got it, man.
All right.
Easy peasy.
All right. I'm gonna. Is that a hint? Is it easy Reese's Pieces? All right. Let's get into it. Hit our man, our dude. Let's hear it.
It's prediction time. Before it ever happens, it's a prediction. Lean in close, take notes, listen. Cause they about to point it out quickly. All the things that you didn't see is getting called like plays at the line of scrimmage. You can take it to the bank, the dudes ain't tripping. They've been seeing what's coming for a good minute. It's prediction time, yeah, let's get it.
For one, let me just admire that beautiful belt. That thing just needs to stay in a nice case.
Cody Rhodes was admiring it a couple weeks ago.
Oh my gosh!
It's a breastplate. It's not a belt. Yeah. I'm gonna put it on to
literally
prevent me from being stabbed. Yeah.
What are those things that women garter that they wear to suck in their fat when they're princesses? And yes. What's going on, Peter? But anyway, let's get into Crown Jewel predictions. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go. 7 matches, by the way. We ain't 7 matches, not just the 5 normals. So they're going hardcore for Saudi Arabia. All right, match number 1, which I'm gonna predict with my heart and not my brain. We have Seth freaking Rollins versus Big Bronson Reed. Is that his name? Big Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
It's got to be Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, you've
your heart as well. All right.
You've built him into this star, this monster. He kind of got a little hosed at last Monster Standing because of Seth Rollins. I understand why Seth Rollins attacked him, but he attacked Seth Rollins. He became a star. This is really his first time as a singles wrestler on a big stage against a big guy like Seth Rollins. he's got to win. He's got to make a name for himself. It's got to be Bronson Reed.
I fully agree. I'm going with Bronson Reed, but that's my heart. And I don't even care if it ends up being a 2 out of 3 falls and Seth wins the next 2. Bronson's got to win this one. He has to win this one. And Seth knows it. So Bronson Reed. Let's go.
All right.
What do we got next? You're going off of how you think.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at Liv Morgan. She was just on that Chris Van Fleet show and she talked about her Hooters picture. And she said that, or not her Hooters picture, her
mugshot.
arrest picture. And
Yeah.
that the cop even said, like, this is going to go viral. And she was like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, damn, Liv, you hook up with a girl. Call me Liv. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
You like flirting with a cop and you're just so happy. And I do look like Daddy Dom, except I'm a little bit sexier. So I'm a sexier doppelganger. Hit me up. But anyway, Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Who you got?
So this is I'm more interested in this match than I am the Gunther Cody Rhodes match, only
Agreed.
because of the Tiffany Stratton angle, because this is the first time both women's champions are in the ring together, and she still has the money in the bank briefcase. So if she wanted to, she could cash in on one of these two. So I think we're gonna get that. I think Liv Morgan's going to win, but afterwards, I think Tiffany Stratton cashes in and leaves as the women's champion. So Liv Morgan wins the Crown Jewel Championship. Tiffany Stratton wins the WWE Women's Championship by cashing in on Nia Jax, turning babyface along the way.
Oh, look at you. All right. Well, I'm going to
They got to make it interesting somehow.
So my thing is that I feel like both of these champion versus champion matches have a chance to have a interference, right? One of them will have an interference. One of them will not. You can't do double interference on these matches. So I'm going to go, this is the one with the interference. I'm going to go Rhea Ripley cost Liv Morgan. Nia Jax is not only the queen of the ring, but she is the crown jewel. She needs it more. Liv doesn't need that big old belt that'll go up to her forehead. I see Nia Jax. It fits her perfectly. She's going to win.
Well, apparently, according to the storyline, Rhea Ripley broke her orbital bone and is going to be out for the foreseeable future after that attack on NXT. So maybe we don't get Rhea Ripley maybe Rhea's gone until the Rumble, comes back and wins the Rumble and takes the belt off of.
Okay, hold on. So that's what the WWE said right now.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's a storyline injury, but so who knows? It's not it's obviously not a real. I mean, yeah, they could write her. That could be a way to write her off. She could have another real injury, but
never mind. All right, I'm changing now since you said that. I'm going to go with the other match getting interference. Okay, I'm going to go with Liv Morgan wins with the help of the Bloodline in a sense and so on, and she's going to brag about having 2 titles. All right, I'm switching now since you said that. That's key details. All right, I'm going with Liv Morgan. I'm going to switch my other one for the last match. All right, next match. Let's go. I'm going Liv. Thank you for that. Oh, here we go. Randy Orton, who's literally needs to be afraid to wrestle Kevin Owens. I mean, I would be scared if I was 300 pounds of pure beautifulness. Who do you got?
It's got to be KO. It has
this
to
is the easiest call.
Yeah, you turned him heel. He's got to go. I mean, show us how dangerous he is. Like, I have a feeling I could see Randy Orton winning by disqualification somehow because Kevin Owens uses chairs, he uses weapons, uses that kind of thing. But so it's going to go one of two ways. Either KO is going to win dominantly or he's going to lose by disqualification, but he's still going to walk out last man standing over Randy Orton.
Yeah, I got Kevin Owens no matter what. I mean, it has to be Kevin Owens all day, every day.
Yeah.
Building him to be this vicious Randy needs
Show
to
us how vicious he is. Yeah.
I'm assuming Triple H is going to be on my screen again. And after KO like destroys him, bloodies him, beats him with like a whatever, maybe even a sledgehammer just to show Triple H. Triple H is going to meet Randy Orton at the gorilla position because we have to show gorilla because there's no kayfabe. And he's going to say, hey, you know, I told you should have been scared. So yeah, I'm assuming we're going.
And if you're gonna hype Kevin Owens up, I remember when CM Punk did his thing with Drew McIntyre against was it SummerSlam? I think it was. And when Seth Rollins was the guest ref, and he was like, "I'm gonna make you bleed. I'm gonna put him in so much pain." And there was not a shed of blood dropped in that match. Now in Hell in a Cell there was, but there was not like one So you can't say Kevin Owens is this dangerous monster without showing us that Kevin Owens is this dangerous monster.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
show us how dangerous he is, and otherwise that whole entire segment on SmackDown was absolute meaningless.
And like you said, it could be a DQ. Kevin Owens could be losing and then just be like, forget that chair to the head and I'm going to destroy you and blow you up.
But either way, he's got to stand
Kevin
tall.
Owens stands tall. Yeah. All right. Next match. Oh, the match everybody paid to see. It is Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control versus Metaphor versus Chelsea. Oh, I can't do that anymore. And Piper Niven. Who do you got? Oh, he's chewing ice. I'll talk about how hot Chelsea Green is.
I'm gonna say it's Bianca and Jade.
Okay, you're right. The end. Let's move on. There's no way they're losing it right now, even though I really want Chelsea Green to have a championship around that beautiful waist of hers. It ain't happening.
Yeah,
so,
I think Bianca or Jade, one of them needs to turn, but it's not happening.
Bianca. All right, let's go. Next match. Show it out there. All right. We got Patrick Anthony and Ryan Enjoys Wrestling favorite wrestler, L.A. Knight. Yeah. The man who refused to wear a referee uniform. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to wear exactly what I always wear, but just a uniform kind of under it just to show that I'm, not part of the system because I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. But we got L.A. Knight versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade for the U.S. Championship match. I have a surprise pick. Who you got?
I have a surprise pick for this one as well. I'm going Carmelo Hayes. I think Carmelo.
Same surprise pick.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think Melo is money. Melo is him.
Yep.
And it's time to showcase how great Carmelo Hayes is. LA Knight, his championship reign has been good. Hasn't been great. Yeah, I think it's time. I think he's a better chaser, and let Carmelo Hayes thrive in the mid-card scene on SmackDown as a heel champion.
Carmelo is winning all day, every day. LA Knight is boring. Yeah, boring. Yeah, I said his reign would be boring. Yeah, it's been boring. Yeah. Let's give it to Carmelo Hayes, and Triple H can show some diversity. All right, let's move on. What's next?
Next one.
Ooh, the match everybody is paying their money to see, and it is not the main event, y'all. We are going to get the Ring General Gunther versus Cody Rhodes for the first ever Crown Jewel champ. Did the women say the same thing? Did it say the same thing? Okay.
Yeah.
First ever Crown Jewel champion. Who do you got? I just changed my pick, so you let me hear yours.
You know what? I might surprise you with this one, but I'm actually gonna go Gunther. I think Gunther's winning. He's going to get rid of every blemish that's been on his resume since his career began in WWE. But he had that questionable win at King of the Ring against Randy Orton, where his shoulders weren't down. So what did he do? He went and wrestled Randy Orton at Bash in Berlin, and he beat him. He lost to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. What did he do? He turns around and wrestles Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw for the World Heavyweight title, and he beats him. He puts that doubt to bed. And now the only man that's eliminated Gunther twice from the Royal Rumble is Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to beat Cody Rhodes and kind of get rid of all the blemishes on his resume. He's going to win. I don't think this Goldberg's not coming out. I could see Kevin Owens coming out and maybe helping Gunther get the win after he beats Randy Orton. He stuns Cody or something and costs him the win. But Gunther's winning no matter what.
So I'm switching my pick. I'm going Gunther as well. I had Cody winning a clean, but that's because I thought we couldn't have double interference. Now I'm going with Kevin Owens costing Cody the match and then bloodying him up as well to end the Saudi, well, not to end a show, but end this match. I think Kevin Owens is going to bloody Randy, bloody Cody, and Triple H is going to say, I told you guys so. So yes, I'm going with Gunther winning the match.
Gunther's winning.
And that's why it's not the main event. This is the main event. We got No Yeet, and the OTC versus three random people from the Bloodline. Who do you got?
Oh man, I'm gonna go the new Solo Sikoa Bloodline. I think they have to win. Otherwise, what's the point of everything that's going on with Survivor Series and War Games and everything? But I do have a bold, wacky, crazy prediction for this. That I've been handed the script for Crown Jewel, so everyone pay attention.
All right.
So Sami Zayn is going to rejoin the original Bloodline in a similar fashion to the way that he left the original Bloodline. So Solo's been posting on X that Sammy's his dog, and he's been all over social media. They had that conversation.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he wrote on social, or not, maybe not X, but Instagram. He showed a video of the conversation. He just wrote "my dog" when talking about Sammy. So I think Sammy's going to come out with an honorary Usos shirt and everything, and Solo's the tribal chief and all that. And then after the match, Roman Reigns is going to be handcuffed to the ring, and these Solos and Jacob and Tama Tonga are going to beat down the Usos. He's going to make Roman watch, and then they're going to go after Roman, and then they're going to gift wrap Roman Reigns for Sami Zayn. He's going to hand Sami a chair. Sami's going to take the chair, and he's going to tell Solo's going to yell at Sami and say, "Hey, hit Roman with the chair. I gave him to you. This is what you wanted. Take your shot. This is what we talked about. You wanted Roman. You got him. All those years of him beating you, tormenting you, all that. Do it. Take the shot." And Sami Zayn's going to do it. And then he's going to turn around and hit Solo with the chair. Solo's going to go down, and then he's going to toss the chair aside, and Jacob's going to go haywire on Sami Zayn, beat him down, and all while Roman Reigns watches. And maybe when Sami Zayn hits Solo with the chair, he's going to say something to Roman or Jay that, we might not be family. We may not be blood, but we'll always be family or something. And then boom, Sami Zayn gets his ass kicked by the OG or by the new bloodline, therefore rejoining the original bloodline.
So who wins?
Oh, I said the new bloodline has to win.
So you do? Oh, you think
they will win?
Okay,
yeah,
so you
they
think
will
Solo
win.
will win after all that? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I think he'll win before all that, and then this is all after them.
Oh, this is after. That's what you said. Okay, yeah. I love it. Great. Yeah, I mean, if that happens, I'm not even going to comment on it. I just want to know if it happens or not. You predicted a couple PLEs ago or a few PLEs ago, almost exactly. I think it was exactly. So I'll trust you right now. Maybe you do. Maybe you secretly know Triple H. You don't tell me, which is super rude. I'm going to go new bloodline as well. They have to win. I got Fatu, Pin, and Jimmy. So I don't got as much fun details, but I got that in closing the show. So the Saudis will be upset or they'll be happy. No, I don't know what they like. But anyway, and hopefully we can get over Crown Jewel pretty soon. Let's get into it. Our favorite segment of the week. We have the least valuable dude or dudette and the most valuable dude or dudette. Well, we're going to say who we think is the least valuable or most valuable dude of the week of wrestling this week. So all the things we talked about, it doesn't mean we don't like these people. It just means we think they were booked the best or the worst in this week. As always, we start with Ryan. Who's your least valuable dude or dudette?
I've gone with women 2 weeks in a row, but I'm going to break that this week and go with the dude. It's the same brand as the last two women, which were Naomi and Bailey. This one is on SmackDown, and it is none other than LA Knight.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm sorry, he was a horrible referee that whole entire match. The whole point of the referee is to have control of the wrestlers. He had zero control whatsoever, and then he kept they kept bumping him and they kept using him as a shield. So whatever, that's fine, but I don't know. He kept making the match about himself. And then all of a sudden he just BFTs Carmelo Hayes. And then he goes after Andrade and knocks him out. And then he cuts that weird promo. He's like, "To hell with Game 7. I'm here as the U.S. and still United States champion. And I'm the winner of Game." I was like, you weren't even in the match, dude. You weren't even your belt wasn't even on the line. It was just really, really weird. It was a bad night. It was, and these guys, poor Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, but they've been putting on 6 bangers of matches. The 6 matches they've had were awesome. The 3 wins by Carmelo were fun. The 3 wins by Andrade were great. We deserved a proper match 7 of this series. And I feel like the 7th match was their worst. And it's not because of them. It's because of the addition of LA Knight. So he was the LVD for me this week.
Fantastic pick. And I like seeing you turn on him. I love it.
I'm turning on him. I'm slowly turning on him.
All right. Well, someone I've been turning on lately is my least valuable dude of the week, and that is one Triple H. And you heard it here.
I was going to go with him too. Yeah.
If you want to be a character, Triple H, then be a character. Stop pretending that you're this executive producer that you got to throw on the screen and this and that and keep appearing on my screen. You were unnecessary in the Randy Orton development. And then when I heard you were going to have a face-to-face to decide, I thought it would be entertaining. And instead, the best you can come up with is that Randy Orton should be scared of Kevin Owens and that you fear for his safety and this and that. It was out of character for Kevin Owens. It was out of character for Randy. It was out of character for Triple H. It was just atrocious booking. Triple H, you're taking my L this week. And also, do better. Be on the screen. Be on the screen. Be one or the other. But if you want to be good guy, Triple H, executive producer, or whatever you are, then be that good guy. If you want to be bad guy, then be Mr. McMahon. But you got to be one or the other. You can't just come out when you feel like it to get pops, and you know you're doing it for your own ego. So don't try to pretend like you're not. And I love you, Triple H, but just pick.
Agreed.
If you're going to tell me you're an on-screen character, I'll support it and I'll love it. But if you're going to pretend like you're not, but keep coming on my screen, I'm not going to support it. So make a decision, bro, and make them right when you're on the screen.
Yeah. We should look forward to having Triple H on our screen. And lately, it's been dud after dud after dud. The Crown Jewel Championship at Bad Blood. Anyone remember that announcement?
Yeah,
and
fantastic.
It's just it's been misses from him lately.
I agree. All right, most valuable dude or dudette. Who do you got? We got the same one. We got different. Let's see.
I am going. This is probably a cop out, but I'm going. Everybody involved with the Bloodline story. I'm going from Solo Sikoa to Jacob Fatu to Roman to Jimmy and Jay. I mean, they carried Raw and SmackDown this week, and if you take the Bloodline and the Uso segment out of Monday Night Raw, nothing happened. You take the Bloodline and the Uso segment out of SmackDown, nothing really happens. So I think Solo's getting better and better on the microphone. Roman Reigns has been doing his damn thing. Jimmy and Jay are stars now, no matter how you slice it. They are stars getting great reactions. Sami Zayn is the X factor in this whole thing, and he's even going to be included in it now, whether he is the good guy or a bad guy, if it's all a bait and switch with him talking to Solo. It's the most entertaining story. It has been for 4 years, and the fact that they've been keeping this going for as long as they have, and it keeps getting better and better, is absolutely fantastic. I might actually cry when this storyline officially ends, if it ever ends, because this story has been off the chains for the last 4 years, and it's just getting better and better. And everybody involved are stars.
I fully agree. And I didn't think he could even go as long as it kind of has.
Yeah.
And then after Roman lost, the fact that it continued to go, and not only continue to go, but be as intriguing as it is, I believe when something's in your life for so long, you're right. Like you're talking about how you're going to cry. It's like, how are you going to live without it? Right. Because it's been part of your life for so long. Like if you have a breakup, that's how it's going to feel. It's even like when I go on vacation, I went to Hawaii for a week. And when I left, I was like, oh man, I felt like I finally figured out it was like my home. I was learning things, figuring out things. I was
now you gotta leave.
And then I got to go back home. I'm like, oh, you get used to. So yeah, that Bloodline 100%.
And the other thing too is, a week ago, we didn't give two shits about Crown Jewel. I mean, we had Cody and Gunther and Liv Morgan and Nia Jax.
Boo, boo.
You throw the Bloodline story in there, it's going to have a chaotic ending. It's going to be wild, and it's going to be must-see TV. And that's how it's a fantastic story. We threw that in there, and now we care about Crown Jewel.
But Roman's only a part-timer. It doesn't really matter. So I don't get what you're
He's
talking
been on
about.
like 6 episodes of SmackDown in a row. So I don't really.
Every time he's on TV, it's good for some reason. All right, I'm going a different route, which I thought you might go with too. But I'm going to go with the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
And storyline purposes, how can you not give them a win? Not only did they win to beat DIY, who were just the former champs before the Bloodline, but they beat them and then had to have a match 10 minutes later after all the segment and the promos to then beat the Bloodline, who are supposed to be the most vicious group of all of WWE. Even with the help of Jey Uso, they still won it. They just got in WWE a couple weeks ago. It was poorly done, and now they're the tag team champions. Motor City Machine Guns, do your damn thing. Let's make the tag team championship great again and the whole division. Motor City Machine Guns, props to you. You are my most valuable deeds.
I love that pick. That's a good pick. And I mean, they did win a championship too, which in their third week. So it's hard to bet against them.
Yeah. There it is. All right, y'all. That is our WWE week in review. Check us out tomorrow for all AEW information. We're going to cover all things Rampage, Collision, and this week's Dynamite. And yeah, man, we got good things coming on in next week's episode of WWE. If you're tuning in, we're going to have all our reviews and our 2 thumbs with attitudes with everything Crown Jewel. Hopefully it's a better show than what we're thinking it's going to be. And with that said, thank you always. Yeah, Yeah, thank you always for tuning in, commenting, liking us, subscribing us. As always, if you just want to hear me talk and rattle on and on about absolutely nothing, catch me at HBD Denton on all social media devices. I forget it's always reversed. At all social media devices. And with me, as always, is my brother from another mother.
It's your boy Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go hit me up on all the social media platforms as well. Go follow us on X at 2DudesPC. We're on TikTok at 2Dudes with Attitudes. And then go like us and subscribe on YouTube. We're almost at 1,300 followers, which is where I wanted to be. So we're getting there. We're about 5 away. So go drop a subscription if you haven't done so already. We're on Twitch now, so go follow us there. And then hit us up on Apple and Spotify as well, and go leave us a 5-star rating and review. Tell everyone about the best unknown podcast out there. Better than Busted Open. We're better than Bully Ray. We're better than Dave LaGreca. So tell your friends about us because we need some love, damn it.
And one thing before we go, we are better than, we haven't sold out yet, but also favorite Halloween candy, go.
Oh, it's easy. Reese's Pieces. That's it. Good night.
Darn it, you said that. I'm gonna go with Snickers. Let's go, because I can do the Buttercups or Snickers. Snickers. Yeah. Happy Halloween, y'all. Two dudes whoop back. We out.
It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The 2 dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.